has just got a smidgen more knowledge on got it. Should I click got it, I presume? A smidge more knowledge on the internet technology. What do you call it? It's a software. What do you call it? Than I have. So he's trying to sort that out for us as we speak. That's what this is all about. Okay.
Okay. Just want to quickly make you host again.
Okay.
Host. Okay, perfect. You must have a lovely.
Okay. Now, before you go,
yes.
Okay. Before you go, just want to make sure I've got the right of the stick here. So now it's being recorded. Is that correct on the YouTube, like social media, like I mentioned? Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. It's live on YouTube at the moment.
Oh, okay. The next question: do you have to do this every morning? So I just go on and click in the normal time, or do you have to do this every bloody morning now?
I'll do it every morning for you. For some reason, my laptop can still log in as with yours.
Okay, it's a bit of a pain, but that's so be it. Okay,
no problem.
Okay,
cool.
It makes me feel a bit better actually, because if Monday she knows what she's doing, couldn't get it sorted, clear some sort of problem my side, which I don't know what it is. Okay, that's great. Thanks. Cool. So
Thank
that's
you.
fine. Bit of a hassle, but you're a star. Thanks very much, mate.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
Okay. Sorry about interaction, guys. That's not your problem. It'll be sorted out anyway. So now, just a reminder, anybody there, and I'll point to other people, is say, I can't attend the trade room because I'm busy between 9:30 and 11. Then it'll be recorded, so you can see it afterwards. Obviously, it'll give the timing on. I presume he's put the time on the date. You don't want to be looking at a 3-day-old job because it's out of date. And just remember, even if you do look at it several hours later, some of the stuff will be out of date because it's live trading room. It's not a class, it's a trading room. So just bear that in mind. If anything I say you're not sure of, because I do it every day, you need to interact and tell me, because I know people don't understand, and then they go and misinformation and make a cock up, and then they get upset. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I beg of you, interact, and then you'll get it sorted. So I'll say that again. It's on the social media, YouTube, on the portal. Don't forget, take into account the dates involved. It's no good looking at the gold price. We're talking about it a week ago, because clearly that's out of date. It should be common sense, but we get quite carried away and we sometimes miss it. Hope we're all clear on that. Okay, guys, we just come up to 9:30. Some new names in here. My name is Roger, trading support. I'm licensed to advise you. So we have account managers, we have tech support, we have a whole load of people working for the company, and they all have their individual responsibilities. However, when it comes to trading advice, you have to come to somebody who is actually registered with the FSCA and qualified basically to give that advice. Whether it's good or bad, I'll do my best. But that's where that's the regulation basis of South Africa. So yeah, so if anything to do with advice, you need to come to me. So I'm going to get tech support or management or whatever, they have to send it to me. So you might as well come direct. So I'm going to start off before we go any further. I'm putting my name on there. Just give me a moment, because people understand me confuse the different companies who are responsible for what. Keep it up to WhatsApp if you could. It's a bit quicker. If it needs more detail, I'll call you. Okay, on the another number, which is a computer generated recorded number. Okay, so there is the number. That's for support. Not on demos. If you say I'm on a demo, what do you think of gold? Let's say we'll go into a live and I'll tell you. Okay, so the demo is not there to teach you trade, just teach you their different strategies and how to operate the platform. Okay, just bear that in mind. Okay, so there I can assist. I'm morning, Pietro. Good stuff. Yeah, I just want to mention again before I go over to sharing the charts. This is a trading room where it's a family, a forum where we discuss trade ideas. Number one. Number two, we've got a quiet moments where we go into various other aspects like fundamentals or what that black, brown, red line on the chart, what happens to be. Where's the brown line on that? Oh, there it is. Brown lines on the chart or whatever it happens to be. We discuss that and we interact. It's not something we just sit there and hope it's going to get downloaded into the brain. No. And it's not one class, two classes, you're finished. No, it's ongoing. The classes, you do the classes, that's to give you the basics. Here is not to teach you the classes. That's a separate company. That's Stock Market College. Here is to develop the practical once you got the basics of the theory. Hope that is clear, because some guys are coming in without knowing what a share is, not where our lot size is, and starting off here and wondering why they get confused. Well, they will do, because you need to get the basics. Once you got the basics, you come in here and we can now learn the practical. Unfortunately, the fact is not enough people do that, and they're making mistakes which can be rectified. I've got NZD CAD up the moment. Whether it goes up or down, I cannot control. That's in the hands of the gods, the trading gods going forward. We'll see what happens. We can take a view, but certain things we can control. And people like Chris and Pietro have joined here. We've seen that we're probably before making certain mistakes where there could be control, basically, and done something about. And to rectify those mistakes, you come here. And so hopefully we can get some positivity out of it. Hope that's all clear. Again, if it's not and you don't interact, I'm sorry, you're going to screw up. You've got to make sure you're on the same page. Like I asked Clinton just now, I said, I admit it, I'm not the world's greatest on tech. Am I on the same page? To make sure we understand fully. If you don't, you go in the wrong direction. Sorry, that's your fault. You must take responsibility to, number one, it's your money, know when to the volumes to enter a trade, and know how to operate the platform. That is your responsibility. We will help you as much as we can, but ultimately it is your money, your career, your trading, and it's your responsibility whether you take that advice or not. Okay, we're all over 18. We must remember that side of it. Okay. Right, so I'm going to shift over to the charts now. I'm trying to shift. Here we are. Okay, right. I've sent out this NZD-CAD as a sell. Now, you might get some people who've traded before and say, why do you think that's a sell? I think it's a buy. That's not saying I'm contradicting you. I'm the burst into frothy and get upset. On the contrary, that's a great idea, George or Mary. Why do you think that? Oh, my goodness. Now I'm getting a bit worried. You might write, oh, hang on. I still think it's a sell, but it could be a buy. Maybe some guys haven't entered trade might decide on the long. We've done that before. So it's not this is a democracy where we can have different opinions without getting cancelled, like in the US. You know what I mean? If you vote ANC, the DA, I'm going to throw stones at you. Vote DA, the ANC, I'm going to throw stones at you. The Democrats, I'm going to throw stones at the Republicans, the Conservatives and the Labour. All the political, no. This is a democracy where we have different opinions. Let's actually gain from them. Even if I think, hang on, I've got to eat humble pie. Pietro's right, I'm wrong. I might make some money out of being wrong. What a pleasure. Even though Pietro will take the mickey out of me big time. And because I certainly would the other way around, mate. But you get the point. I'm trying to make some fun here, but you get the point I'm trying to get across. There's no 100% right or wrong. We all have opinions. Good. Okay, this is a sell. It's, well, I think we clearly see it's in the downtrend. And is a bit of support, I give you that, but it has broken through and held on the 100-day moving average, which is the black line. That's the 200-day, the brown line, the blue line 50, and the magenta is the 10, has broken through, and I see some downside on this one. If you don't like it, if you don't think that's the case, or even think it's a buy, you've got the calculator, go and buy it. That's your choice. But I think it's a sell, so if you went for it, hope it comes right. Hello guys, yes, it could be because the previous cat, just let these guys, excuse me a second, Poe. Hello guys, yes, it could be it be because the previous cats indicate positive shades of market. Yeah, well, it's gone up. I see a bit of a downtrend there. I'm actually backing the Canadian NZD at the moment without even looking at the chart. It is in the neutral zone between the brown, the blue, 50 and the 200-day moving average. It's held and started to come off. Remember, this is still a work in progress, so we can't tell yet because it's still got another, 14 hours to go before it closes. It's a daily candle. But it looks like it's setting up to an evening star, which is bearish from a candlestick formation. So that's how I look at it as well. But candlestick on its own is not good enough. Support, resistance, a downtrend, other aspects, you want to come into it. And it seemed to have held this area here. It's not the strongest support, but it is some support there. So it looks like some downside. We think it's going to continue. Hence, that was the way I authorized to be sent out to you guys. If I'm wrong, Hopefully you won't get completely nailed because you put your stop loss, your TP in, you had your calculator, you got it from tech support on the live chat. Sorry, on the live chat, and make sure you got it and you worked out your risk and you got the correct volumes according to that risk. So if it does hit the stop loss, well, move on to the next one. If it's the TP, big smile and move on to the next one. Very, very, very important. Okay. As I said before, the biggest killer I see all the time. There we go. Very clever or not very clever. It doesn't matter. It seems to be getting the volumes right, taking profits too quickly, not modifying your stop loss. And when you do, it's modifying your way because you don't take the loss. In the end, your loss deepens. It's called stopping the loss. It's not called an IL, which is increasing the loss. It's a stop loss. That's why it's called a stop loss. Okay. And sometimes, yeah, you move the stoppers out of the way and it comes right, but it's not a good habit to get into. Okay. It's there for a reason. Always remember the stop loss and the TP are automatic exit orders as long as the market's open. The market's closed, you can't get in or out. Clearly, the market's closed. But you can modify, you can cut your position or exit anytime you like. They're just there to assist you if you have other things to do. And we'll look at the week as well. Okay, see, it's a bit size than 200, but the 100 is quite a long term, the 100. Remember, all the moving averages, a simple one. It's a smoothed out average price. The average price without all the up and down noise is down, over down, bit sideways. From the shorter term 10-week, this is a 10-week, remember, shorter term 10-week, that's 2.5 months. It's clearly a downtrend. So, yeah, hope it's just going to continue clearly because we've got a trade out on it. So we'll see how it goes. The other one is, guys, please give the trade a chance. I tell you what's happened to me. I've done this many times, probably, and everyone else. Quite a normal cycle reaction. When you're not in a trade, what you want to do is get into a trade. Once you get into a trade, the bouncing up, the noise starts to make you nervous. You can't wait to get out of it. So in the end, people take the profit too quick. So they're taking 10 here and 5 there and 15 there on the profit. But when you go into a loss, the holding home has come right and they take a 50 on the loss. So they're going to make several wins to make up for the one loss. It should be the other way around. So give the trade a chance. How long you're going to be in, nobody knows. It could be a few hours, could be a couple of days. It's unlikely to be a few weeks, but who bloody well knows? But the point is, if you're riding a winner, why do you want to take it? Modify your stop loss. Everyone seems to want to hang on to their losses, hoping to come right. As soon as a bit of profit, get out of it. It's amazing. And then they wonder why, hang on, the signals are no good. Well, the signals have worked. I'm the CHF JPY. Let's go to that. Here's a classic example of the guy in the trade room. People been in the trade room, went for the JPY. Pietro and guys have been joined the trading room, went up to 164. What did he actually go up to? Was it yesterday or the day before? What it was, 164 something or other. Modified the stop loss, including myself, all been knocked out in a profit. People don't tend to trade room, don't tend to classes, start trading. And now look at this. It's not pretty at the moment. You see what I mean? It's not looking good. Now, anybody who's been attending the trading room here on a regular basis, still in the CHF JPY, or are you out on a profit after a modified stop loss? Can you give me some feedback on that?
Out on a profit.
Out in the profit. Thanks, Farney. Edward, out in the profit. Out in the profit. So Anthony still in. Okay, well, still in. That's fair. I'm not upset, but the point is out in the profit. You see what I mean? So the CHF JPY, 3 voices came up there, made some money on it. The guy's just in it now and a 50 pip minus. You get the idea. Now, what is the problem? Is it the Swiss franc? No, it's the yen. I've mentioned on the VIP group as well many times that there is a lot of chit chat out there. It's not 100%, but chit chat out there that there might be Japanese government intervention when the dollar, put that daily by the way, when the dollar gets to 150 on the yen. Okay, it's not quite got there. It's not far off. So people are getting very nervous of the yen. They don't want to be buying it, that's for bloody sure. But they're very nervous to sell the yen because it is so weak in case it gets screwed up by a suddenly maybe $100 billion position taken up by the government to try and strengthen it, at least not the long term, maybe short term or something. I don't know. Because they've done this many times before, and it's not usually, so it might have gone like that, and then it'll go back up again. But it hasn't done you any favors because it spiked your stop loss. So people are a little bit nervous of the end at the moment. And I think it was that fears approach 150, people start getting out of the Swiss franc and yen, the yen particularly being the operative point there, pretty damn quick. They're in a profit, get the hell out. All those people closing those longs mean they're selling to an exit, which forced it down. Hope we're clear on that. Now, the people who tend to trade will be now become aware of it. Those who don't wonder what the heck's going on, and then they start sending WhatsApps. What can I do about it? We're doing so well. Now it's down. What do I do? Well, first of all, you can basically attend a trading room. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of clients. I can't do one-on-one. It's impossible. Well, I might be able to do one-on-one if you put in very large amounts of money, but not very small amounts of money. It's obviously not commercially worthwhile, clearly. But just let these guys in. But that should be fairly commonsensical. So yeah, and then Slasher out, Chris out. You get the general idea. So this is what we're trying to achieve over here. I'm not saying you're wrong. And I'm thinking maybe once we get the yen sorted out, we can again buy the CHF JPY again and make another nice movement on it. But at the moment, just be a little bit cautious on it. Okay.
Roger.
Go for it.
The other thing is that the 10-year auction on the yields of the yen, 5 o'clock this morning, was quite high.
Yeah.
And it means that the yen was strengthened. If you look against all the currencies, the yen currently is very strong.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. They're all auction off the bonds. Absolutely. Exactly. Well spotted. In fact, I'll put that up as we speak. This is the economic calendar. I'm just going to copy and paste for you guys. Some guys new here won't have it, so they will now, because I'm about to give it to you guys. This is very important. As I've discussed many times, Dave Farney, in the past, used about 80% technicals, about 20% or something even less fundamentals. Now, with the advent of the smartphone, all this news is immediately available to everybody instantly. So it's now playing a far bigger part. Remember, out of sight, out of mind, you don't react to it. Once in your face, you do. And that's the reason why fundamentals become much bigger part of it. Now, I'm also going to put up the dollar index. We refer to it at enormous amount for very good reasons, because it's that important. So here you are. Now you've got it. We will in a moment, anyway. There we are. Got the dollar index. And I'm going to give the yields on the 10-year note. That's the US Treasury 10-year bond note, whatever you want to call it. We're not worried about the bonds specifically on this occasion. We're worried about the yields. How is that value to you? Well, very simply, it won't take long to explain it, guys. If the yields or the interest rates go up on those bonds, it means it's going to be negative for the stock market and it's going to be negative for gold, etc. If it goes down, vice versa. The same with the dollar index. So if the dollar index strengthens, obviously it's going to be good for the dollar. That's clearly 100% obvious. But point is, how does it work with gold? Inversely proportional. Gold goes up when yields and dollar comes off. Dollar goes up, yields go up, dollar comes and gold comes off. Right, now let's go on to that as we speak. We got a trade idea coming out today for a buy. Now you're going to think, what the hell's going on? Just a second. Beg your pardon, just to let these guys in. Okay. All right. Go. What the hell have we got a buy trend out? Why have we got a buy signal out? I mean, look where it is now. Look at the weekly. Right. Going to the weekly, it's the 200 weekly. Remember, the moving averages are 200 or 50 or 100 or 10 times the candlestick. Remember that. It held and it bounced. It's come off the last about 7 days. Nearly $115, something like that. That is a big expectation of profit-taking bounce. To be honest, whether it gets that TP or not is another story, to be quite honest. But I prefer the wider stop. But I think we get a bounce. Even if it doesn't get there, I said to the guy in the meeting this morning, most guys don't hang on for the TP anyway. So at least we get a bounce and might make a couple of bucks out of it. So I'm thinking there could be a bounce, but there is a stop loss there. However, if you're still nervous going long on gold, and clearly it's fairly high yields and dollar index, leave it alone. but I'm not sure we'd be shorting at this stage as it's holding there. I think we might get a short covering bounce. It's a little bit against the trend, but I thought this could actually happen. But if you don't like it, don't do it. And I think people like Pietro and Fine, that might be scratching their head a bit. That's the reason why. Okay. But if you say, stop that, I'm not going to do it, I would understand completely. Okay. Okay. All good? I think it's Marissa, just new. Sorry, Marissa and company, just new here. Where's Marissa? Yeah, Marisha, beg your pardon, company. You're probably, what the hell's going on at the moment? Just recapping a bit for some of the old hands in here. We just don't worry about it. We'll start going back to a little bit easier just now. Okay, I'm just covering some stuff. In the meantime, Marisha and company, I've put on there my number, well, you know my number anyway, Marisha, but the economic calendar, the dollar index, the yields, copy, same in your laptop, and have them minimized. When you're trading, you need to keep an eye on them. And as time goes on, you'll know what it's about and why. So don't get too sort of, wow, I'm being bombarded at the moment. Just going through some stuff at the moment. Got a couple of trade ideas out, so we'll discuss them. What was it? GBP CAD. We'll start off with that one because it's closer. It's gone up a bit, but you can't pick bottoms or tops. If it goes down straight away, didn't say we got some genius ride, just like the draw. It's gone up a bit, but we got it's got a little bit of 15 pips, quite a lot. Anyway, we got a stop loss in. I'm in that thing as well. Yeah, there's a stop loss, hopefully out the way, and maybe it'll hold. If it doesn't, you've got your volumes correctly. I don't like looking at all the time, as you can see. Where's it at trade level? Rather not stare at your trades all the time. It will play with your head big time. Rather lure them out the way. Just check them occasionally. You can right click and go to trade levels. You want to check them like I did there, and then get them out of the way. You can modify occasionally, and that's why you're checking. But staring them, you won't affect the price, but it will affect your own personal head big time. So try and give the trade a chance.
Roger.
Yeah, go for it.
The trading signal that we got, it was for NZD-CAD, not GBP.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you get that? Sorry. Send out to my VIP group, but not to you guys. Beg your pardon. NZD-CAD. If you're not in the VIP group, it means you need $2.5 grand or $150 or more in your account, and I'll upload you. You've got my number. Okay. Right. Trying to encourage people to get the capital part of the business. They might have the knowledge, they might have the equipment, but they haven't got the capital, and try to get the capital to do the job properly. That's encouraging it. NZD-CAD was an entry on the signal 94. Remember, we got the spread. So you get 94 on the bid, out on the ask. So the bid's gone down a bit, but you haven't quite covered costs yet because that's going to get to 94. But anyway, the idea behind that was a sell. I don't think many people will argue on that one, neutral zone or not. The overall 200, 150, well, the short term popped up a bit. That's just a bit of short covering bounce after such a big move down. But the trend is clearly down, as you can see. So we can put trend lines in if you like. But bottom line is, yeah, I think we can look at some downside there. I was hoping to get a break this morning around about this level, but by the time we did the trading room, not trading, but strategy room this morning, I think we're just a bit late on it. We'll have to go on about there, actually. But never mind, so be it. But I still see we got some more downside. But thanks for pointing that out.
There, Roger.
Say again, sorry, beg your pardon?
I was having a look at EUR USD for a possible buy.
Okay.
However, I marked out a major support level, but then on the lower time frames, it shows us that price is actually breaking through that level, and on every single time frame, it's showing oversold.
Right.
On the RSI.
Right. Right. Bring into what I mentioned just now. You've got to take into account the fundamental side. The dollar is strong. Now, I've mentioned before, you'll chop and change, but have heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight categories. Okay. The heavyweights at the moment is the dollar. It was middle. It's gone back into the heavyweight as a Swiss franc, the most stable currency in the world. And it's gone back from middleweights going back into heavyweight. And the Canadian dollar, Canada, remember, exports oil. Oil's doing bullish, is helping it. So at the moment, I don't want to be selling the Swiss franc, the Canadian dollar, or the US dollar. Would I be going US dollar, Swiss franc, or US dollar, Canadian? No. I'm a bully. I want to see a heavyweight play a lightweight, box with a lightweight. I don't say a heavyweight box a heavyweight. You know what I mean? It's just too difficult to call. Yeah, I want to see Goliath beat up the David. All right, didn't work that time around. That's why I have a stop loss. I'm being slightly facetious, but I think you get my point. So I'm not sure at this stage of the game, with the dollar index so powerful, I'll be on the short side of the dollar. So if you see buying the euro, you're shorting the dollar. Now, the next question, you see, it's very overbought. Well, all the indicators will tell you it's oversold because the indicators lag and follow the price action. So you don't have to look at the indicator to tell you, look at this downtrend. So clearly it's going to say over bloody sold. Well, obviously. The problem is it said it was oversold here. Just a second. Sorry, guys. It said it was oversold here, oversold here. You get the general idea if you took this as the yardstick. So look what happened. It still continued down. I would not be short buying the euro against the dollar. You might get a short covering bounce. Rather wait for the short covering bounce and then short it down again. Now, I'd rather short the rally than buy it up. I've made a slight change in the gold because I think the gold could get a bit of a bounce here. But I'm a bit wary of it. I'm being honest with you, I'm wary of that. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is I'd rather short the rally rather than buy the euro up. On top of it, we got the ADP coming out tomorrow, 2:15, I think it is. That's a precursor on farms on Friday. We got the weekly jobless on Thursday and the big daddy of them all on Friday. So that could continue, depending what comes out, continue strengthen the dollar, or it could be weak, a little bit weakness. So it's not about the euro at the moment, it's about the dollar. And so far, I would not preempt too much. It could be a pullback. I think it will be a bit of a pullback in the dollar after such a move up, but it's a pullback to maybe strengthen a bit. That's why I say be careful if you took the gold trade. Once it goes a bit of a profit, which I think a good chance of it, get your stop up and protect yourself in case the non-farms you're still in by Friday, and the non-farms could help you, or you could stuff it up on the fundamental side. So bottom line is I'm not going to be going for a buy on this one, and I'm not going to sell it either. I'm going to hopefully get it around about this level here, which is 105.56. It's about 80, nearly 80 pips, 75 odd pips away, right about that, depending on the situation, the fundamental side, to short it down again. Hope that makes sense. And if you don't agree, I'm happy you don't agree. Don't say, oh, no, you're wrong. You're not wrong. You have a different opinion. I would like to hear it. So what do you think of that, Caleb? That's my take on it.
No, I completely agree with you, Roger. I was just a bit wary about it also. So it's always good to just have a second opinion. And yeah, I'm happy now.
Okay, because that's trying to get across. I'm not Adolf Hitler. I'm not a dictator. So, and I'm willing to listen. I think one of the problems of people, when they start going up towards being general, they think they're right and everyone else is wrong. And that's where they come short, I think more wars have been lost than won on that basis. So learn. I'm just throwing out my opinion. If you agree, I'm happy. If you don't, I'm more than happy to hear it. We don't have to be offensive to each other. Just say, no, finally, I'm sorry, Matt, I think you're wrong. And finally, I see your point. Hang on, what about that, Roger? Oh, sorry about that. Finally, you're right, I'm wrong. It happens, no problem at all. It's no harm in eating a bit of humble pie. We win in the end doing that. Good stuff. And air those things. That's why we're here. You want to say, I see this, what do you reckon? And I said, hang on a minute, you got a point there, John or Mary. I like it, well spotted. And we get out to everyone, we all benefit. Must make that clear. Quite right, and I see your point. Okay, good. Right, let's go to some of the trades we're in at the moment. Well, we're not in at the moment. I'll start with the ones we're not in at the moment. AUD, USD. Let's start off with that. Why am I saying that? Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yay. Remember that song? Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yay. Well, have to be very old to remember that one. Hit the TP. So that's the target. Unless you modify the target, which is nothing wrong with that, to try and get some more profit out of it. And modified your stop loss and still on board, great. You can't lose. You're doing well. But anyway, if you didn't modify the TP, you hit the TP, you're out. The other one was GBP, USD. Also hit the TP. If you didn't modify your TP, you're out. Okay, so that's pretty damn good. Another one, we had GBP CHF. I modified, it jumped, and it knocked me out, but I made a nice profit on it. But where was it anyway? 95.35. Well, GBP, I'm looking at the wrong one there. Where is it? I'm sorry, wrong one. GBP, oh yeah, 1070. Got down here actually, or me on the daily. I got down to that's right, got down to 1088. Okay, which is only 18 pips away from the TP and started to move up. I took it. I mean, for goodness sake, you know, you're 160 pips up and you start losing money because you're trying to get another 10, 15 pips out of it. That's, I thought, shall I modify the stop, which I did do? Shall I cut my position or take it completely? I thought for 18 pips, I'm going to take it. So I'm out of that. So that went pretty well. Didn't quite make the TP, but I did the right thing because it's bounced. Right. CHF JPY, I modified my stop. It didn't get to target before I was stopped out on a modified profit, mainly because the yen worries it brought it off. But I think it's possibly upside again if they don't do any playing around with the markets, as mentioned. So, yeah, if you're not in, well, stick with the strategy on that particular one. Let's look at the shares. NVDA. We'll start with Tesla. Let's have a look at the mailbox. Fit all these bloody things on there. All written down bits of paper, so do it a bit quicker. Here we are. Where we are here. Right. Tesla 240. It's now 251. Remember, shares are closed, guys. You can't do anything with a share till 3:30. And big difference, share volumes wise. Anyway. Tesla's doing fine. We're up around about $11 a share. NVDA was another one. Remember, we've been in NVDA since 26th September. That's what, 7 days, 7 days, 5 working days. So give the trade a chance. That was 422 as an entry. And at the moment, where is it now? Here we are, 447. So that is, where it is now. Where? Oh yeah, 422 and 44. That's $25 a share up. What a pleasure. Okay, that's doing just nicely. And even further back is DIS Disney. That's still in a profit, doing nicely. I modified my stop. Whatever happens, I've cut some of it. To be honest, I banked about 20 of those. I left a few run, and that's just doing okay. And if it does get stopped out, it'll be in a profit. So the shares are doing okay. The other one we've forgotten about, it's been a couple of weeks now, is Meta. If anyone's still in there, if they're not, I won't worry about it. But the Meta, where's Meta? Here we are. Not much, got it at 303 or 4, I can't remember now, but a couple of weeks ago. It's a little bit of a profit, but some people might have taken me out by now. So not too bad. Okay, Euro CHF, I think we're still in that one. Gave us a bit of jip, but it's coming to the party. 96.41, it's now 96.60. We're looking at the ESL, so look at this one. So that's now 80 pips in profit. So clearly you don't want to be leaving the stop loss where it is. You want to be putting into profit. So you can put the stop loss. I think I put it at 97. I forget that actually. Can I just get rid of this for a second? Yeah, I put it at 97. Okay, so you can modify your stop, protect yourself. Plenty of room, might hit the TP, but it's doing fine. AUD CAD, we did that yesterday. Again, people are getting worried about it. Stick with the strategy. Now look at it. It's doing just fine. Got to be patient with it. It's not there all the time. 87.03 went up to 87.40 or 35. People getting very, very worried, getting a lot of WhatsApps. What's happening? Stick with the strategy. I still believe in the trade. There hasn't been a change of trend. It's just the noise and it'll come right. I'm pleased to say it seemed to be bearing out. So again, this one you can modify your stop to 87 on the dot. 87, 0.87 on the dot. And then you're won't make any money on it, but you might make a couple of bucks, not much, but at least you won't lose. Hope we're all clear on that. So the ones that open at the moment, not too bad at all. Hope you're happy. Okay, let's get this out of the way and see what the hell's going on. Okay, so AUD CAD, you can modify. And what was the other one? I've forgotten. That was the other one. Euro CHF. Let's go back to that one to give you the right figures. Yeah, 0.97. You can bring it down to 0.97 and you're going to make a buck or two. Is that right? No, I'm talking rubbish. Sell at 90. 64. I'm talking rubbish. It's gone bounce up. I'm looking at the wrong one. Beg your pardon. Euro CHF 9641. There's a sell's going the wrong way now. I beg your pardon. That's gone wrong. That was doing brilliantly earlier on. What happened there? Okay, it's had a bit of a jump. Was it fundamental come out there? Or just noise? Don't think so. Remember, China's on holiday. Just checking my calendar. Swiss franc CPI. CPI was slightly lower than expected. So that clearly weakened the Swiss franc a little bit. What's that going to do with the C? Yes, so that's right. Weakened the Swiss franc a little bit. So that's why we got the jump, because it's a nice bit of profit. So Euro CHF was in a profit, and the CPI on the Swiss franc at 8:30 gave it a bit of a jump. Okay, so inflation is minus. So they got basically they've been, in fact, the price of the goods has actually gone down a bit. Can you believe it? You haven't told about price rising in Switzerland. The price actually came off a bit. So there we are. Expected no increase in prices for the month, and they actually came off a bit. Okay. Oh, thanks. Just seen it now on the whatchamacallit. Okay, so just seen it now. Thank you. Did it? Okay. Or we might have done. I don't know. Don't buy much fuel in Switzerland, yeah. Okay, but I don't think they have to worry about petrol prices there. I mean, the average salary is about 100,000 rand a year. That's the average ordinary salary, you know. Not the high lows. That's the mean average salary. That's why so many people want to go to Australia. I think the minimum wage is equivalent to about, in our terms, about 30,000 rand a month. Incredible, eh? But it's almost unbelievable. A lot of people living over here to have an average salary at that rate. In fact, the guys out of work and stuck over there will earn a higher salary than most of the middle class income earners in this country working 8 hours a day. It's quite incredible. So that's the Swiss fund stuffed that up. But maybe will come right. It's not a disaster yet. Still a way to go to the TP, but then it happens. Okay, so we've covered quite fast, quite a lot, the previous trade ideas coming out. Yeah. So I can take a bit of a break and start answering any questions. Newer guys might say a little bit knocked around headwise, but we can answer those questions for people. We're just starting to clarify a few things, because these are important bullet points that we need to mention, which we can rescue, like position size calculator, getting these moving averages on there, saving your charts, looking at the specifications, like going left click, right click, left click on specifications, these things where you get information. Any questions on that basis, newer guys, once you calm down and think what's going on here?
Just thinking, Roger, WTI.
Yeah.
It went down quite a lot. Is it not ready for a buy?
Yeah. Discussed this point. Thanks very much for reminding me. I was going to come up with that just now. I'm just going to I'll tell you why. I was going to wait on a little bit, guys, and discuss some other stuff first. Was I mentioned this morning, and I was looking more at the Brent to come back maybe around about the 88 or something like that for a buy. It nearly got there. Where's it now? It nearly got there. I got 89. I was hoping to get 88 to buy it, but I'm still going to be a little bit unsettled on it because remember, oil's measured in dollars, and we've got a couple of fundies coming out over the next few days. Could affect it. So I'm going to just maybe risk missing Brent, but I'm going to sit and hang 5 or maybe till Monday on Brent. But if it does come back to 85, I might change my mind if we get a bounce. But I'm looking to long it. You're right. And it did. Remember I mentioned the other day, if it gets to the 95 mark, it might hold. And that's exactly what it did. Just short of the 95, I thought it's going to hold. Profit taking pullback. A lot of pressure on the Saudis to maybe start increasing production, and the situation occurred. Unfortunately, people didn't do that. They wait for men to go shooting up, then they climb on board, but it's too late. You look at the floor, you look at the ceiling, you only buy at the ceiling. No, they want to see when everyone else is bought, follow the crowd. But by the time it gets near the ceiling, everyone's climbing out and taking profit. And that's when, unfortunately, they come in. And that's when they get caught with the trousers down. So a lot of guys on their own back buying at this sort of level here. Now they're not happy chappies. No. That's when you need patient wait for a pullback. Then you need to change the training room. Not just me, we discuss these ideas. And that's why a lot of people turn winners into losers, which is horrible.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. As long as you're happy with that, it's an opinion. Again, don't forget, guys, purely my opinion. I'm not a god in this game. There's one god, and he's somewhere in the ethers, not in me. That's for bloody sure. I didn't create the universe. I just try and do my best a bit of trading. So yeah. Where are we now? Okay, so just hang 5 on that, in my opinion. Having said that, broke that bit of support there and testing a bit now. Does anyone want to buy it up further up? That's just my opinion. Or do you feel it's worth going for? If you say so, I'll give them mine. You can have yours. If you want to buy it, if you want to short it, I'll put the R up for you and we can discuss it. Any opinions on the buy, or are we going to leave it alone, as I personally mentioned? I'm pushing this, I don't know, to make sure to help you to have the confidence to think and not, you know, just think somebody else knows. I don't. It's a lot of comments involved in this. You're going to wait in it, Marcy. Okay. Pietro. Okay. Okay, guys. So we will stick on sidelines on this one. Okay. Okay, Paul. Right. Okay, then we'll move on. This one, I want to buy this. People have been stopped out in the last trade, a nice profit. Can we do it again? It's just this yen is worrying me because I'm seeing it come out to real buyable areas here. I'm frightened of the yen, but then they might not do it. They might not bloody do it. Then we miss out on a lovely bounce. But see how it's hovering around that 150. Didn't quite get there. It's hovering. Yeah, we'll do it in a moment. It's hovering. But most of the world out there is scared. So you might get a bit of sideways movement and made a pullback till they say, oh, he's not going to do it. If it's at 150 and nothing happens, you want to be on board because that'll start jumping, in my opinion. Okay. But I hope you understand what I'm talking about here, guys. If you don't, please ask. It's not just up the guys who traded before to dominate. You guys got your say as well. Okay. Going back to Umpo there. That's the 1 hour time frames. A few bars are coming in, but a few. Okay, let's go back to the 1 hour. It's a few, but I'm not sure the volumes are there, to be honest. I'll tell you right now, the traders who know the score, been doing it for a while, and institutional guys are worried about that Japanese intervention. Don't want to caught their knickers down with a sudden 100 pip move, which could easily happen if they go and buy up, 100 billion, or maybe it's contract value. Don't even do that. Put a deposit around about $5 or $10 billion from government perspective, which is peanuts, on 100 to 1 leverage. 50 billion is like 500 billion. You get the idea. Mind you, having said that, you've got to remember, you've got to have liquidity for it. You can't just turn around, oh, I'm going to sell $100 billion worth. There might not be enough liquidity out there to get into a position that size. So there are restrictions from that point of view, which is a good thing. Otherwise, they could sort of borrow, let's say, $1 trillion on 100 to 1 leverage, and then they could obviously play with the market. But there's not always enough buyers and sellers to fill that position. Remember, every time you sell, someone's got to buy it off you. If there's not enough buyers to take that enormous particular order off you, you can't get in the entire amount. That's what often happens. Remember, I'm going on a bit here to understand, happens when we have these major economic data releases like the CPI on the US and the non-farms. They get a lot of pending orders, but not all of them are filled because there's not enough volume to fill those enormously large orders. Just remember that. When you buy something, someone's clearly sold it to you. If no one's selling it to you, you can't get in there. You know what I mean? I want to buy 10 houses, but there's only 8 houses for sale. That's all I have to, stick with that. Remember, it's all about the buyers and sellers. Just remember that. Okay. I know I go on about it, but it's very important to understand the concept. And have your calculator, for goodness sake, get those volumes right, please. Right. Any other question trading? Marisha, you've joined us. You can modify it. Is anything happened to justify the modification? Yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah, I take your point. I'm going to embarrass Pietro a bit, but he's done it a bit and he thinks a bit. So when he asks the question, before I jump in, hang on, why is he asking it? Because he might have a good reason. Gerard Farley, the same sort of idea. A couple of others like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Normally, it's about $4 in profit. What again on gold? Yeah, it's $4 in profit. Usually a bit quick to modify. Having said what I said this morning, Pietro obviously picked up on that. Maybe should be careful. I'll be honest with you, Pietro. I tend to agree with you. Let's have a look first. I'm going to look at the dollar index. Sideways. It come off a bit, but now it's holding. What about the yields? It's come off a little bit, so it could get a little bit more upside, but I'm a bit nervous this trade. I get you. Maybe a bit aggressive on this one. I think it's still a bit quick to put it up, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you a favor, Pietro. Not just Pietro, anybody there, if it gets to 1930, just let me know, obviously before 11 o'clock, and then we can maybe bring it up to entry. Okay, just to protect us. In fact, if it gets to 1930, bring it up to 1920, so 1824, then you're protected. Okay, so just keep an eye. I think it's a little bit early. Keep your fingers crossed. If you're nervous, do something about it, guys. Maybe take partial profit. You can modify, reduce it, maybe move it up from 79 to 1810 or something. You can if you want. But if it's 1830, because I'm a little bit nervous of these yields and the dollar index. And might be an idea to get it up to the break-even point of that, just above entry, 1824. Still got a bit of a gap in case it goes up further, but at least you're not going to lose on the trade. I think that probably the best. Okay. All right. These things you will learn and understand because Pietro guarantee he picked up Farley and company. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why it's called, they can sometimes not get damaged when other people do. So if you're not sure of that, this is when we can have a bit of QA from the newer guys to explain a little bit more patiently and a little more slower. Okay. Okay, Mauritian company, had to go through quite a bit. That's why I was a bit quick. But now we've got time for you guys. You took the trouble to come here, Mauritia. Have you got any questions? And other guys who just joined, who just beginning their training journey. You need to take the floor, ask these questions, preferably verbally, and go through them quickly. What are those lines on the chart? What's this? You know, we can do it quickly. If you don't ask, I assume you know. Don't scream if people like Edwin know the score dominate because they ask. You know, I'm quite weak. Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. Just remember, guys, if somebody comes out with a trade idea like that, I'm sorry, that takes precedence. That takes precedence of everything else. That's fine. Right. As said before, guys, I do 70% on the daily, my strategy, and about the other 30 mixed between the 4 hour and the weekly. So I'm going to the daily. Yeah, my problem, to be honest, Edwin, is I'm not that confident with the euro. Remember I mentioned about heavyweight against the lightweight or medium. There's sort of lower end of the middleweight, maybe even slightly lightweight division. Pretty even Stevens. I think the euro might be a scratch, not much in it stronger. I give you that in the AUD, but it's not much in it. I'd rather, to be honest, I looked at it again this morning, funny enough, but I'd rather have bigger fish to fry. If this was a CHF AUD or AUD CHF, you know what I mean? I would have a completely different attitude. Dollar AUD, different. Dollar AUD dollar, different attitude altogether. AUD USD, but we already hit the TP. You get it. So it's against the strong or the AUD CAD, which you all got to trade out. Different ball game. But I'm a little bit. I think I'll leave it alone against the euro. That's just not much to call between them. And I think it's already, you can see it's the neutral zone. Already it's got a bit of resistance. Because it's even Stevens, I think it might be hovering around in a range. If you're a range trader, you can maybe pick a range as long as there's enough money in it. Is there enough money in it? Just check it quickly. Yeah, it's 100 pips range. So maybe you can sell it in the range and put a line and sell it. If it breaks out, you stop that. If it continues, you can maybe look at it that way. But otherwise, I personally am going to be leaving it alone. And always remember, if you're going to range trade, this is what this is what your full-time setup is. It's not a question you got to go out and do the shopping, or you got a job, or the boss is calling you for a meeting, or you're the boss, you got to go in for a meeting, which you're calling. No, this is the people who've got the time to do the range. If you haven't got the time to put into it, rather go for the slightly longer term ones on the what we discuss in the training room, and then you can do other stuff. Okay, and occasionally check and modify. So remember, range trade for guys who've got the time to do it. Otherwise, I would leave that alone for the reasons I gave. Hope that's clear, Edwin. Not too quickly explain to you. Or do you disagree? What do you think, Edwin? Clear. So I tell you then you agree. If you disagree, please say so. Personally, I won't take umbrage on that. I'll look at it and I might learn some. I'm not being eating humble pie because I'm a nice guy, because for selfish reasons, I might learn something to benefit me. And another thing I'm trying to do is help people get a bit more confidence to speak out. You know what I mean? People get a bit nervous. So you've got these bloody trading Marines here. What am I supposed to be doing? No, you'd be surprised what we can learn from beginner as well as vice versa. And nobody will pick on you because everyone remembers they've had losses. They've had a lot of them and they all started somewhere. I'd rather be wrong and make money than right and not make money. You get the idea. Say, guy, hear that? Suspend the egos for the trading. The ladies like that comment. Okay. So we're happy on that one. Okay. The dollar's coming off a little bit. Maybe we can squeeze a bit more on gold. It's getting there. It's starting to go up. Good stuff. Okay, but watch it. Right. Right, guys. As I say, people are new. You've got to learn to have the confidence to interact. Otherwise, you can't help you. You're not going to get it downloaded. Because a lot of this will say it's gobbledygook. If you don't know how to get the position size calculated, don't know how to get the specifications, you don't know how to save the charts, you don't know what those brown, blue, pink lines are on there, you've got to put your hand up and ask. You can't sit there and be downloaded and fed. You've got to interact. Go for it.
Yeah, sure. While you're in that, thanks for that opportunity. Yeah, if you can just please take me through to the position and risk calculator. I just don't know where the tab is.
Okay, now the tab, you've got to get it on your navigator. How do you do it? You go to the live chat. Where's the live chat? If you don't know, it's on the portal, on the Stock Market College website, and on the Quick Trade website. If anyone doesn't know that, I'll copy and paste it for you and put it on the live chat here. Not the live chat, our chat line. And then you copy it. When you go on there, on the bottom right corner is the live chat. You go there, and then you get to technical support, and they'll download onto your computer. If you don't have a computer, two things. Get one. If you can't get one, then you've got to go to the App Store to find one. What do I recommend for the App Store? I don't. There's plenty of them there. I don't use it. Actually, a lot of time I don't use this. I can do it in my head now. I'm practiced at it. But the App Store, there's a few free ones there. Look around from. But my thing is, when you trade, you need proper equipment. You're not going to do much on a phone except for modify and enter. Strategies on the phone is limiting. You need the equipment, you need and you need some knowledge, obviously, and you need some capital. But there you are. You need that calculator. If you don't have a calculator, it's like going shopping. I don't know if you do. I do a weekly shop for the groceries. Pick a page, check where I go. And I we all worked. Unless you're a billionaire, you work to a budget. You don't go out. So buy this, buy this. Great, done. Don't look at the price. Off you go. You check it out, don't you? Budget. Well, it's the same principle. I don't think I'll go in 0.1 on all of them. Well, 0.1 the Dow and 0.1 the gold and 0.1 the euro dollar is a completely different volumes, different risk, different everything. The risk is different to each one. Depends where we put the stop loss compared to entry. It's 100 pips stop to entry or a 50 pip. Clearly, it's a different risk. So you need this calculator to work out your budget, like everything else. So it's a must. If you trade without it, you're going to overexpose, then it can hurt you. Okay, very important.
All right, thank you.
Good. Any other questions, guys? Because people get so nervous and they leave it to guys who do know and they don't ask. There's a calculator. Don't forget, set your charts up. 200, and that's the Brew ones, the 50 simple move average. Put it on. They're must. I think the 50, sorry, the 100 and the 10, these two, 10, 50, 100, 200, right? I think the 10 and the 100 are important. So I suggest put all 4 of them on. Once you got them on there, right click, go to templates and save the template. So if you do have a problem, just click on save. Wrong one. And then what you do is you put your name in there and you click on save. I went too quickly there, sorry. So save your templates. If you lose them, you click on a blank piece of the chart, you go to templates, and there they all are. Okay. You need to know anything about it. Let's take gold. You left click, you right click, you left click. It'll tell you the contract size. It'll tell you the margin. It'll tell you the minimum volume is 0.01. It gives you information there, right? You need to know it. If you go to the GBP USD, you right click there. It tells you specification, contract size 100,000, not 100,000. If you go to, I don't know, Goldman Sachs, right click, that's a share. What's the specification say? Contract size 1. So the volumes are very different on the Forex as you would on Goldman Sachs. And people just jump in on one micro on both of them. It's clearly incorrect. That's trading in the international trillion-dollar market without having any weapons at all and wondering why you're getting shot down. You get the idea. Okay, those things you need to know. Very, very important. You all now have well, you should have my number because it's given it. You should have the economic calendar. You should have the dollar index, and you should have the 10-year bond. You will not learn all this in a minute, but I can't help it if you don't ask. And majority of people don't ask, don't do it, and then become a cropper. And worse, they often call me. I give them my, need to put a stop in, give them my advice. They're blind bit of notice. 2 hours later, the situation's getting worse, and they ask me again. I said, you should have been out. You should have been stopped out. No, I didn't put one in. Well, if you're not listening to my advice, why bother calling me? You know what I mean? Don't forget, it's such an emotional game. Try and not look at it all the time, and just check it now and again. Otherwise, it'll drive you crazy. And work on the discipline of controlling the emotion. Emotion is not the strategy. It's using your head rather, if you can. It's difficult, I know. Very difficult. Not unsympathetic. Far from it. I've been there myself many times. Okay, let's just have a look at a couple of trades we got out this morning. GBP CAD, anything happening there? Hovering around. It's up slightly, but much, so we're not to panic as yet. And a lot of people panic AUD CAD yesterday. It was up about 30, 40 pips. We're going short. And now it's a nice little profit. NZD CAD 94. Where's NZD CAD? Yeah, it's about the same as it was earlier on, hovering. At least it's not doing too badly. Ah, thank you, Pietro. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's slightly weaker, but the Swiss franc is it's overall, to me, a little bit undervalued at the moment. Remember, it is a strong currency and an extremely stable, strong currency. Okay, that's why you need 100 grand a year, absolute minimum. And if you earn 100 grand a year there, you don't live that well. What Peter's saying there, he's got a point there. Canadian, I know, is a different country, America, but similar accent, a lot of similarities. Okay, and often it does move in sympathy. So yeah, good point he made there. Actually, quite a lot of discontent out in Canada at the moment. Justin Trudeau has gone ultra woke, even more ultra woke in the US, and it's causing a lot of discontent. They're going to the winter of our discontent over there. Okay, well, coming back, that's good stuff. Okay, Dollar's coming off a bit, so we might get some, and the yields coming off a bit, so gold should start coming up. So I'm going to stick, it's a bit tight, but I'm going to stick to my strategy there. If it gets to 90.30, get your stop up to just above break even to cover your costs. At least you're protected. If it comes right, great. If it doesn't, you don't lose. I'm looking back to hope it comes right. It's a bit aggressive, that one. Okay, the other two slightly down or about even Stevens, so we leave them. AUD CAD, we'll check those. Have you modified your stop? Anybody still in the AUD CAD? You should be, hasn't it? The TP. You shouldn't take your profit too quick. We got in the AUD CAD at 87.03. Some people better. It jumped a bit, and I got in slightly higher. I think on 87.10. I think 7.11 or something. Some guys got a slightly better price. No, one or two guys took their profit, in my opinion, a little bit early, but we'll still see. It might get the TP. So anybody in that trade still and hasn't modified the TP and would like some suggestions on where to modify it to? Have you modified it? Have you modified it, Pietro? Might have entry. It's about, yes, all right. Maybe a little bit below to cover the cost. Maybe 5 pips below to cover the spread. Because remember, you exit on the buy. So if you went in at 57, that's your exit. So if you went in at, just so you just remember that. Usually make it about 5 pips better, and then you're covered. Hope everyone knows we say pips. That's a pip. That's a point. Ignore the points. We look at the pip. 10 points, 1 pip. Okay. All good. New guys, you learning anything there, or are you getting more confused than 9:30 when you entered? Any questions, Marisha? You just joined us. Any questions?
I don't have even got it. Well,
to do this.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me all right? I went to mute. I'm back on in business. It's not the fiber. It's not the problem with the internet. The problem is the fiber with the company is some problems. I'm hopefully it's going to get sorted today. I'm hoping to get sorted on Friday, actually. Hopefully they'll get it sorted today. Well, whenever they do, that's out of my control. But I'm using the router at the moment, and it's back up and running again. The router gave me a bit of a hiccup there. Put it full on charge again. I had it outside, so it would have a bigger reception on my balcony, just next to where I am at the moment. And obviously, it ran out of battery. It should have done. It's fully charged. Should last more than a couple of hours, surely. Anyway, whatever. It's on charge again. We're back up and running. Okay. Sorry about that, but we shall continue. Yeah. So there it is. Okay. Yeah. So AUD CAD. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about that. Anyway, we modified stop loss on that. Any of the others still in? Can't remember. I think anything else you're still in, you want to modify and it's doing well, let me know. And then we can look at it. CHFJPY, I am nervous of it. I think we can get a bounce. I think we're getting the bounce. Yeah, maybe we should have gone for a bit nervous earlier on, jumping again. Where's the yen? Yeah, it's holding below that. So anyone think it might maybe worth jumping into the yen again, this one again. Remember, I did say yesterday, it might get some noise there. Be careful if it comes back, take it. I think a lot of guys did do, because I know a lot of guys exited that position. So it came back and said, we should get some noise in that level. It did come back, might have taken it. But yeah, still plenty of meat on the bones to go back up again. Put the stop loss down here. Yeah, it's a bit low. Maybe a little bit higher up. Maybe there somewhere. What do you think? It's worth doing an aggressive trade again or leave it alone? You want to leave it this time around. Okay. Anyone want to have another bash at it? Leave it alone. Okay, fair enough. Move on then. Chris likes it. Okay, we'll do some here. Have a go at that. What's the look like on the 4 hour? If you want a slightly wider stop, you can. With a wider TP, it's up to you. But yeah, that's good enough. Fair enough. Not that keen myself either, to be honest. But I still think the only thing worrying about this one is this fear of the yen intervention. Otherwise, this is a very high probability buy. Never mind the last candle. Okay, well, there you are. If you want to take it, should we move on? All right.
Raj.
Go up. Yeah.
Yes, a possible entry on Euro CHF. I quite like Euro CHF than the CHF JPY.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 We've got to trade out that figure anyway at 41. It's exactly where the trading signal went out. So I'm assuming you're talking about a short. Talking about a short. Absolutely. Yeah. Got a trade signal out on that as well. Use the same figures. There you are. Hope you see it in your screen. 41, that's where it is now. Risk reward, 120 bucks. If you put the stop loss at 97, the TP at 95.35. Yeah, absolutely. I'm certainly going to stay with it. I was in profit earlier on. Don't see why it shouldn't occur again. And look, it's respect the 100-day moving average. Absolutely. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, if you're not in that train, you want to do it, well, there you are. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'll move on then. Here's another possible one for some downside, the Euro CAD. Okay, we want to buy the oil, don't we? Hey, Fani? Buy the pullbacks in the oil. So that's certainly don't want to be selling the Canadian. Euro's very iffy. Any problems in the Euro front? Just a second, give a calendar there. Don't think so. Not today. What about mañana? The guards speak tomorrow, but stick with the same spiel. Don't worry about that too much.
I like the trade, Roger. I had a look at it this morning after your other trade of the GDP CAD.
Not really. No, nothing much on the euro.
No, my
So
problem basically is we are
should be okay there.
Exposed on the
so
CAD,
yeah.
Raj.
Wow, for fuck's sake.
Roger, can you hear me?
What a bloody nightmare this is. Okay. All right. Some guy's already left. Sorry, can't help that. Where is it now? Okay, I hope we can hear me now. Play that, get it sorted today. If not, well, have to stick with it. Okay, all right. Right. I'm looking at EuroCAD as a possible downside. Thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for your patience, guys. It's not my fault, but still irritating. That's the trouble I find over here. Anything breaks down, it's a nightmare to get any server to sort it. Yeah, I'll get back to you. That means I'll never hear from you again, eh? Good. Right. Yeah, this one I'm looking. Start off the weekly. It's in the low zone. Remember, below the blue and the brown. So it's in the sell zone. Daily, also in the sell zone. A little bit of a candle problem here. I get you, but it's come up to a bit of support there. I think it's the weaker of the two currencies. Try the 4 hour. More neutral there, but it seems to be respecting that going back to the 14th of September, which is a couple of so weeks, in fact, 3 weeks ago. Seems respecting that. Hourly ending tell you there, but coming back there. 15-minute, it seems to be, well, going up a bit now. Yeah, I think so. Let's have a look at the situation here. Came back the 15th. And this will be, we can do something here. Do you think there's a possibility of downside here? I've looked from the 15-minute of the weekly, and most of them seem to think that they're respecting that resistance, so support. I think there's a possibility of something here. So I'll put it up and see what you guys think. What do you think? What do you guys think of that one? Think the possibility of some downside there? If you do, 3 or 4 people like it, I'll post the head office to put out to the groups, and I'll upgrade it to mine as my VIP group. Don't forget, as I mentioned, you agree with me, Edwin, good stuff. I've mentioned, if you got 2,500 or more and you're not my VIP group, WhatsApp me and I'll update and I'll upload you. Okay. You do need capital to trade. If you don't, you need to get the capital. Trying to trade on $1,000, it's not going to happen. You know, it's just you got no ammunition. In the wrong way. Do you mean pulling away? I mean pulling away in good or bad? Reno. Madiri's got a point there. By the way, very, very good point. What Madiri just said then is you don't want to be overexposed in one currency. If you've got about 4 different open positions on the euro, the CAD, or the NZ, it doesn't really matter. And something goes wrong to that currency, it's going to knock all 4 of them. You know, well, not necessarily knock all of them, but certainly it's not going to look good. So you don't, it's not always a good idea to overexpose in one currency. It's a very good point. Thanks for reminding. Okay. Going bad, is it? Okay. Well, it's nice to know. Not much to do about it, but there we are. Okay. But good to know. We'll check in a minute. Before we do that, well, if you're overexposed Canadian, forget it. But if you haven't got enough free margin, forget it. But if you've got enough free margin, overexposed the Canadian, you like the look of it. Right. Cheers, mate. Thanks as always, Farney. But Madiri does like it. Paul likes it, and that's 2. Because I think you'd like it, even if you can't do it, because the reason that's good enough as a like. That's happy with that. And Edwin likes that's 3 people. So Paul 1, Edwin 2, Madiri 3. Anybody else like it for a possible short down here? Anyone else? Remember, guys, a lot of people don't interact at all. If you don't interact, we don't know if you're getting this or not. Don't look at the screen and keep twiddling your thumbs and hope it's going to get downloaded. We need to have your input as well. It's very much important for your sake, not for mine, but for your sake. It's good enough. I'll copy and paste. 4 people like it. It's good enough. Okay, I'm just going to get that down and for you guys. Just give me a moment. Copy. Just give me a second. All this clutter on here. Where is it? Trade support. I'm just going to copy it down in case I'd like it on the levels. You are CAD, sell. Um, 1.359, quit 1.4360, 1.4432, 1.4245. EPS LTP, and there's 106. It's round figure. Okay, let's minimize that. See if it'll allow or not. Okay, GBCAD gives them jip, is it? Yeah, it gives some, but at the same time, so the AUD, so most of them give us before they come right. Yeah, so thereafter, see how that works. 6610, so we're going to need 50 pips, so we should hopefully doesn't get that hit. Okay, up and down. That's not looking at them. Trades are down there. Not looking at them all. Beautifully up this morning. Again, just now, coming back again. Come down with a red, but other than blue. Give it a chance. Don't stare all the time. We'll play with your head. Okay. Any questions on that? Don't forget, trying to trade the markets with the grand or less is, in fact, even the grand's really pushing it. You're too limited in what you can do. You're undercapitalized. It's not a savings account you put in, just hope it's going to grow. It's a completely different setup to what I don't come from. But savings account, etc. It's completely different. You need capital up to you know, you need capital to make sure you got the stay in the game if a trade goes against you, to diversify, that sort of thing. So yeah, we haven't got any more. It's one of those things, but if you don't expect much success and undercapitalized, I'm being horribly honest with you guys. Really, you know, it's like getting a pea shooter against a tank. I know we all had Isle One, the big defeat of the Empire and the rest of it, but it doesn't happen very often. Okay, Peter, I understand that. Fair enough. Looks great as well. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, we understood that, guys. You have limited level. What's it? What's it again? Okay, Mark. Okay, so say I think you're still there. One. Let's give me a moment to write this down. 100 and 60. Okay. Done. Yeah. Before we go into the traded, we send out, and I'm going to put my VIP group. They're put it together and that's copy paste onto my group. Yeah, just remember, guys, if you haven't got the capital, in particular instance, just bear in mind you're going to battle a bit. You can't spread your risk. You know what the word? Doesn't know what the word diversify means. Be sure they nod their head and know what the word means. You got to diversify, spread your risk, know all the exits, and if you come in with no idea about that, it's going to be a battle because, as I say, you're under capital. So I don't want to frighten everybody. I just want to be aware. I can't remember last the guy who found around made anything actually. Remember, it was some game, so glad to be the winners. It might be me actually. It might be me. Anyway, hopefully my internet guys will sorted it. I'm really going to push it after the meeting. Yeah. Quite to be contact. Hopefully we'll get it sorted. Okay, probably I'm Yvonne, and if I was in Joburg or something, it'd probably be quicker on the uptick on it. I hope you can hear me all right. Okay, I think pretty close to closing time anyway. We did quite a bit. I think so, just closing up now, having a couple of problems. Where was I? Okay, so just about closing time anyway, not a problem. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for your patience. Hope we get, well, not we, it's not going to be me. Hope these guys get it sorted soon. We'll have that more stable fiber. Okay, so we'll see how those go. And we'll check them through tomorrow morning as per normal and see how they go. Happy trading and hope you all gained knowledge and gained some value from it. That's the main point. You say lost Uncle Roger, but Roger's back. Okay. Okay, anyway, so we'll knock it off now. Okay, and catch you all tomorrow. Hope you all heard that.